You may be stuck at home, but I got 4 other guests that might just make your mood a little bit better. You're watching COVID-19 Chats. How have you been dealing with the COVID-19 virus, and what were some of the changes that you made personally to protect customers and employees?
Yeah, well, of course, we're closed as a store. We've switched our student base over to online Zoom platform, and that's worked out pretty well. Little glitches in sound and video, but overall it's worked very well.
So, with this COVID-19 impact, a lot of local businesses have been impacted by it. So how have you guys been impacted by it, and what were some of the changes that you guys noticed immediately?
Well, right away, of course, income has dropped. That's goes along with it. But other than that, orders, we can't place orders because the places we order from are closed also. So that makes it very difficult. But we are still doing repairs and keeping up with that. That's and then also we try to keep the students going through this time because it keeps them busy for one. The other is it keeps them busy with their practicing on a regular schedule, and that's part of learning music, to learn how to work with a schedule and to be regular with it. It also benefits their schoolwork as they learn habits of study.
So what would be your message to people that are now that they want to help local businesses? So how would you say would be the best way for those individuals to help local businesses?
That's an interesting question. I would say keep in contact with the businesses that you prefer. Try to do everything you can to keep your purchases going. That helps them stay there for you. A lot of times I have to maybe meet you at the door or something like that, but not let you into the store. But it can still be worked out in a safe way. But that's something we've done also. As people would pull up and we could go out to the door and talk to them at a distance and try to keep that happening.
So what were some of the specific services that you guys offer that have been impacted for those who maybe after the virus passes away would take interest into?
Yeah, of course, the music lessons, the repairs, we do a lot of that. Large volume of repairs. We do string instruments, we do guitars, string instruments being violins, basses, cellos, violas. Do a lot of band instrument repair also. Trumpets, saxophones, electronic repairs like amplifiers, guitar amplifiers, microphone repairs, PA repairs, that type of thing. We've always been involved in that. We've been in business for 41 years and have seen a lot of those through the years and a lot of the changes the companies have made. So a lot of times we get repairs that other people can't seem to repair, and we always nail them down.
So
and we also sell a lot of accessories, things like that, like guitar strings, picks, and small parts for violins and cellos, basses, that type of thing.
So going into the history of Clifford's, who are some of the people that famous people that visited your store?
Well, we've had Mark Lindsay in our store from the old band Paul Revere and the Raiders. We've had we have a pretty regular customer, Chuck Rowe, who's the keyboard player for Grand Funk Railroad. In fact, he used to come to me before he was with Grand Funk Railroad. We do a lot of schools in the area. Jack Runyon Orchestra was a regular for us, do repairs for him, and he actually taught in my store also. Dan Fanley who's a noted jazz guitarist now from Toledo area, but he's all over the world now. And then the teacher that took over after he left was Jeff Coleman, who plays with a lot of famous rock groups nowadays. He's with a band called Bombastic Meatbats, but his drummer is the Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pretty cool. And there's others too, but a lot of good experiences over the years.
Well, you said that wasn't that
was just
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, how are people, how can they support your business, and how can they keep that rich Clifford's legacy going on?
Well, accessories, purchasing accessories, keeping us in business, guitar setups and amplifier repairs, that type of things. Pretty much visit the store and through sales and other things, ordering things. Also, we can order things that we may not have in the store. That all fits together. We now have we've moved in last year. We've moved to a new place out on Central Avenue, just west of Myers. And it's a much bigger place in our service area, especially in our teaching place. And, people can get a hold of us at promusicsylvania.com if they want to check out our site. And that'll lead them also to Facebook. They can click on Facebook from there. But it's like a little business complex where I was downtown Sylvania in the middle of the block in Sylvania. But it's pretty nice. We like it a lot out here. It's much more relaxing, and customers seem to like it better too. Much better parking, etc.
Well, Mr. Clifford, thank you so much for joining us. And we are hoping that a lot of people, once this virus is over, we are hoping that a lot of people start to visit after this interview.
We hope so too. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Nice to see you. When I come back, I speak with Pastors Larry and Regina Mack about how their churches in Michigan and Ohio have been impacted, how they're social distancing, and their message to churches that have yet to close. As a church, what changes have you made to protect the people that attend your church, and what would be your message to people that have not yet taken precautions?
That'd be a good question for my wife right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think, the first thing we did was we did close the doors. We followed what Governor Devine, I think that's his name, right? Governor Devine. We followed what guidelines that he gave us. And, we didn't put our own personal thoughts into it. We actually thought about the safety of the people of the church. We did follow the guidelines. That was definitely one of the first things we did. In order to get the communication out, we gathered people via technology like we are tonight. And we got our leaders on a call, and we shared with them what we were going to do. We sent out text messages. We really utilized technology to communicate to the people immediately.
We have two locations, one in Michigan and one in Ohio, so we had to just pay attention to both states' guidelines. So in the beginning, there was no more than 50 people. So we made sure we were spread out like that. And then we went under 10 people. Then we just started doing with 3 people, a cameraman and my wife and I, and a couple of people in the audience just to help out. And that made everything work with our live services that we did online.
Yes, especially important to follow, as now Michigan's one of the top states with COVID-19 cases. How has this affected your day-to-day schedules, and what were some of how have people in the church responded to the scheduling change, and where can people now view services?
Wow.
Well, I can tell you our schedule, to me, it seems that it has become more hectic. We literally had to do a shifting in the way that we do things. The great thing is that we have incorporated some of those things before this took place. But I can tell you that considering everything that's going on, all of our decisions, we as leaders, we have to consider people's emotions, and because this is a very emotional time. And I can just say, as a leader, we literally had to transition in everything that we do. So our schedule, in my opinion, has gotten more intense.
Seems like we're more busier at times because number one, I'm always preparing, I'm always learning, I'm always reading. So that part of my schedule didn't change because I have to speak like 5 to 10 times a week with 2 churches and then traveling and things of that nature. So that part didn't change, but what did change is connecting with people on the internet, gathering people, using Zoom, using Facebook, using technology and texting and connecting with people by phone, calling our elderly members, trying to connect with them, make sure they're okay, if they need anything, and just being on the phone praying with people. I mean, we've been getting a lot of inboxes, a lot of calls. We've been praying for marriages. We've been praying for relationships. We've been praying for sick and set-in. It's been a difficult time, especially when you have a loved one that passed away and relatives can't come to the funeral. So that's going to require extra time and attention and prayer and comforting. So we really depend upon, number one, we depend upon God and then our leadership and our staff.
When I come back, I speak to Mr. Alan Hickman about how his barbershop, Styles Unlimited, has been impacted and how he's spending time with his family and social distancing. What changes have you made to adapt with the COVID-19 pandemic?
The only changes I made is pretty much staying in, not trying to go against the grain or anything like that, keeping, in safe proximity of my home, and making sure I'm doing the proper thing by social distancing.
So my second question is, how has this affected your day-to-day business activity?
The only way it affected my day-to-day activity is that no one is able to work right now besides the essential employees. But I guess us barbers are not essential, even though, we got plenty of people out here that says otherwise.
So my next question is, how have you been holding up, not just yourself, but your business in the middle of the pandemic? And what are some of the stresses that come with that?
Well, Jaden, when you in my line of work, you have to kind of prepare for rainy days. So if you're not prepared, it's gonna hurt a little bit. But if you're prepared, and have things in order, it's not so bad. I look at it as I can spend more time with my family more than anything. I think I've benefited a lot, get to be with my family, more than expected, but it's a good thing, when you with your family and loved ones, you feel the love and comfort and peace, and it makes things go a little bit more smoothly.
What went into that? What were some of the things that you considered, and what was the final product? What were some of the decisions that you made in the end?
Well, Mike DeWine. Mike DeWine, shut everything down. So we kind of have to listen to our governor, and as long as he says he's the man in charge, as long as he says that we have to shut down, we have to shut down. So that was the deciding factor. And there's pretty much nothing, anybody can do right now besides, maybe collect a little unemployment here and there and make the best of it.
So do you believe this is going to change the way that you do business in the future?
Not necessarily. I think things will go back to being the same pretty much. I don't think anything will be that much different. I believe things will be all right. And, as long as we keep our faith and all things, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine, Jaden.
Or is there anybody you're thinking about, anything you're thinking about, any concerns that arise Kind of go deep into that.
Well, I'll think about everybody in this time of crisis, because everybody is not on the same level as the next person. Everybody's job is not the same. Everybody's pay rate isn't the same. So we kind of have to look at it as, it's an everybody thing, especially for those that are considered non-essential. So we're all a bit, bummed out and struggling a little bit, but I believe things will get better. I believe things, will come to an end soon. I don't think this trouble will last. But considering, what we've been through the past month or so, I just worry about I worry about my fellow barbers. I worry about the city of Toledo and what they're going through. I haven't seen anything that's too drastic, but I worry about them. And we just got to all just hope and pray that everybody comes out of this all right.
So how have your customers reacted to this? How have they felt like this isn't real, or were they like, thank you for stepping up and making this decision? Or was it Governor DeWine, as you said, that made that decision? How have they felt about that?
Well, the customers are upset. They can't get in. People want to come in every week. You got those people that come in every other week. And now it's just you can't get in. It's kind of frustrating for those clients out there that's used to staying well groomed, and even the ladies that's used to stand with their beauticians, and they can't get in as well. So it's kind of hurting everybody. The customers, they're like I said, they're not happy, but we have to understand. We don't want to get anybody else sick. We don't want to keep spreading this thing. So they just have to live with it, so to speak.
And my final question is, are there any words of inspiration that you have for people that may be going through the same thing? So fellow business owners or employees, friends, family, or just anyone?
Yeah, you just have to hang in there. You gotta stay focused. You gotta have the faith, and things will be all right. By me saying that, can maybe inspire somebody else to keep going, hopefully. And I would like to encourage everybody to get with your family. That's what I encourage the most. Get with your family, or friends, close friends. Not too much, because we have to social distance, but you gotta get with those people and ride it through. And sometimes, the love of other folks and stuff like that, it'll get you through in a tough situation. So I'm encouraging everybody to stay safe, stay distant, and follow the rules, and we'll get through this.
I want to thank all my guests for today's show. Stay tuned for another episode of COVID-19 Chats next week. Have a great day.